Urban Therapy with Sun 752 with this your daily go getimism number 759 for October 31st, 2016, Halloween. All right, tonight I want to talk to y'all about having your own brand of consciousness. Your own brand of consciousness. You know, people in the conscious community that I'm very much a part of and that I value and that I think is really our way to obtaining freedom out here, but we have our problems. And one of the things about the conscious community that rears its ugly head at every turn is that our mental enslavement runs deep, man. It runs deep. It's deep in our veins. It's deep in our psyche, and it's not something that most of us have an easy time escaping. And the problem with the conscious community is that we think that because we are conscious that we have escaped the mental enslavement that pervades us. And it's in us deep. There's so much infighting. We fight like cats and dogs. We call each other out of our names. Nigger, niggers, coons, sellouts, Oreos, watered down. You know, it's like here's what I overstand. And it's almost a shame that I overstand it, because if I didn't overstand this, then it might be easier for me to take sides on one position or another. I overstand that you have to start somewhere in order to get somewhere. So everybody ain't going to be on the same page as far as their consciousness is concerned. We're all trying to get to one area. At least I believe that that's the goal. The one goal that we're all supposed to be heading towards is freedom. Freeing ourselves from our mental enslavement. Raising the awareness of our history, our present condition, and making things right for our future. Identifying who our true enemies are and who our real friends are. Trying to find a way to unite with each other so that we can all escape and be free. That's what we're supposed to be heading towards. Now, the way that each one of us get there is what calls our mental enslavement into question. Because instead of collectively dedicating ourselves to making sure that we all get there, we want to single people out. So people that we don't feel are working hard for us to get to where we need to be, we ostracize them, we diss them, we ridicule them, we excommunicate them, we turn our noses up at them, not even realizing that that's what's been done to us. So while our enemy has done that to us, he's taught us that, but he's taught us to do it to us, and we do it. See, you can be conscious and not be militant. You can be conscious and not be active. You can be conscious and still have such a long way to go. But it's like building blocks. You keep building, you keep stacking, keep stacking, keep stacking. Some people want to stack fast. Some people want to stack slow. Some people want to stack to the side. Some people only want to go so far. You know, there are many of us that are interested in things like integration, interracial marriages, relationships, sort of like Rainbow Coalition, being an all-inclusive type of organization. All lives matter instead of Black Lives Matter. Those people are still conscious. They may not be working on the same level of consciousness that we're working on, or they have a different brand of consciousness than we had. It doesn't mean that they're not looking for the same thing that we're looking at. One of the things that I've noticed about the conscious community is that if you are a teacher if you're an educator, if you work to try to teach somebody their history, their knowledge of themselves and all of that, and that's what you do because you're a good teacher, people will come through and they'll be like, yeah, all you doing is talking. You ain't nothing but an armchair revolutionary. That's the kind of shit that we've been doing with each other. Calling each other armchair revolutionaries. So it ain't good enough for you to use your consciousness to raise other people's consciousness. That's not good enough. So then it's like you ain't doing nothing. You know, all you doing is talking, but you ain't doing nothing. Okay. So then you have people who don't teach, but they build organizations with people who do teach. The thing about it is those organizations cost you money. They do. Each and every last one of them, they cost you money. Even if you're just going to go hear the knowledge, you're going to be charged. And they're going to tell you that that money is being used to blah, 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 blah. That's what they're going to tell you. Oh, we're using this money to build schools, or we're using this money to buy books, or we're using this money to give away scholarships and things like that. Non-profit organizations of consciousness. Non-profit. So then what we say about them is, see, they ain't nothing but about that money. They're just trying to get that cash. You know all that money ain't going towards there or here or whatever. They pocketing that money. So you see the problem here? It's not good enough for you to just teach because then you're not doing nothing. But if you're doing something, then you're really just trying to get the money. Mental enslavement. Different brands of consciousness. If you don't get nothing out of this video, all I want you to understand, all I want you to understand is this. Just because somebody gets from A to Z at a different rate of time than you have, doesn't mean that they're not trying to get from A to Z. Because to get to A to Z, from A to Z, you still have to go from B to Y. From C to X. From D to W. You know, so we don't all have to get there at the same time. What we have to do is we have to help those who are on their way to get there. Stop dividing. Stop finding more innovative ways to divide yourself from your brother. I know that what I'm saying is going to fall on a lot of deaf ears because the mental slavery is deep. And because of our mental slavery, we don't believe that we can get it done by only dealing with our own, regardless of where we are with it. But one thing you will notice is this. I don't care what organization that you're in. As long as they're all like this, there are going to be problems. Because it's in us. It's not in us to necessarily cause problems for each other, but because of our misunderstanding and non-acceptance of ourselves, the way we have been miseducated into conditioning ourselves. So it doesn't matter what brand you are. This is what real brand you are. That color, whether it's lighter than this, whether it's much darker than this, doesn't matter. Same brand, different flavor. As long as you keep elevating your level of consciousness, you'll be alright. Stop fronting on your brothers and sisters. Good things happen to those who wait. Great things happen to those who grind. And anything can happen to those who go for theirs. So go hard, go for yours, and remember, different brands of consciousness are okay as long as you are conscious. If you are awake, if you're not dead, if you are awake, and if you pledge to stay awake, you'll get there. You'll get there. We don't all have to get there at the same time. It's impossible. We didn't all lose it at the same time. Although it may seem like it. But we're not all going to get there at the same time. Just as long as we get there, we'll be all right. Listen to the Daily Go Get a Business show every single day at 6 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Call in number 319-527-6199. Y'all got it. Yeah, don't worry about it. 319-527-6199. And you can go to blogtalkradio.com/Sun752 every day, 6 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll holler at y'all later. Y'all have a good night.